So this story happened via Skype. One acquaintance of mine contacted me saying that he was starting a new 5e campaign and that he needed one more player. I didn't actually know that he played D&D, so I was happily surprised. I gladly accepted his offer and got in touch with the other two players. We then created our characters together. I played Elven Rogue, one of them played Elven Ranger, and the other one played Elven Wizard. We decided to be relatives, seeking our long-lost inheritance. Session 1 had started. DM warned us that this is the first time he's running his own homebrew campaign, and that he'd be happy if we didn't derail everything in the first 5 minutes. We agreed, and then the game began. We started off sitting in a tavern and listening to some NPCs talking about a horrifying monster. It was about 40 feet tall, with magic crystals instead of its head, emitting a constant sound. It stalked near the woods and eliminated people through sound waves. If this sounds familiar, you are right. It was the fantasy version of Siren Head. As he finished his speech, I jokingly suggested, out of character, that we should just leave. Level 1 characters stand no chance against Siren Head. The other players laughed, but the DM did not.
It's not Siren Head, it's my own monster. I was inspired by my dreams,
he replied, sounding kinda upset, but he moved on. We roleplayed a bit, and we found out about other creatures inhabiting the forest. A statue that teleports itself when you don't look at it and snaps necks. A giant, unkillable lizard, and a man that will take out anybody that looks at his face. For those of you who don't know what SCP Foundation is, these creatures are complete rip-offs from that universe. Don't get me wrong, I personally don't have anything against importing creatures/items from pop culture. What I don't like is when people don't admit it. After the dialogue, Wizard asked the DM if this was an SCP-inspired campaign. DM's face changed from the usual pale color to red. We used webcams, and it was obvious that he became angry.
These creatures are mine!
His voice was shaking from the urge to shout at us, and I was feeling a bit uncomfortable, but we continued, unfortunately. Every NPC in the tavern we talked to wanted us to survive in the woods. Even without my out-of-character knowledge, it was sure that we would die almost immediately, so our characters refused to go out there. But as we tried to leave the tavern, a medieval plague doctor blocked our way and proclaimed that we have to help him find a cure. And to create it, he needs to do surgery on some living organisms, just like SCP-049. Creatures from the forest would be the best. At this point, I wanted to stay silent, but Wizard had to ask, "Hey, that's 49, right?" DM finally went crazy. He started yelling,
"I told you, I do not steal. I've got a great imagination. I may have borrowed the creatures from somewhere, but you know what? You guys are losers. Go start your own game with your SCPs. Bye."
And that was that. This is very silly. I don't understand why the DM had to take credit for these borrowed creatures. I think the party would have actually enjoyed the game more if he was more upfront about it, but he was irrational and just rage quit. What do you all think about this situation?